Hi, have you ever looked completely fine while fear of judgment was taking up far more space inside than anyone knew or anyone you share with? So, fear of judgment becomes an inner struggle when the outside world looks normal, but the private inner experience kind of feels heavier. I'm simply sharing how I see these topics through my own lens. So I like and invite everyone to take what resonates, question what doesn't, and use your own judgment along the way. So there's always a duality, kind of like the yin and yang, right? So this is about fear of judgment, right? Is it based off control or trust? What are we really trying to protect when fear of judgment becomes private? It becomes something that you own. Could fear of judgment be showing us where control has become more important than trust? See, a lot of us go about judgment, but the reality of it, judgment becomes something more of an image or a reflection, if I may add, because of our own insecurity and because of our own belief system, because of our own conditioning, because of our own experience. We first judge ourselves, and because we judge in ourselves, therefore we judge others. You see, we don't understand things the way they are. We understand things the way we perceive them to be, the way we think they are, the way that we've been conditioning to see them, and the way we were groomed, the way we were domesticated. This is how we see things. And sometimes we see even more. So, as always, I would like to walk you through some other lenses other than your own and my own, to kind of bring some substance on this topic. One of the reference I want to do is the Bible in Proverbs 29:25. I'm going to paraphrase. This is about fear of people and trust. We see here that there's a contrast, the fear of other people with trust in God. And the passages treat fear of human judgment as something that can become a kind of a trap. Fear of judgment can make us monitor ourselves constantly. For instance, we might ask a lot of questions. Did I say the right thing? What do they think of me? I should have done this. I should have done that. Did I look foolish? Do they approve? Do I approve? So the outside may look completely normal, but the inside is trying to control every possible interpretation. The passage does not require the angle to become stop caring what people think. A more interesting pondering question is whether fear becomes powerful when another person's opinion begins to determine our sense of safety. And it happens more often than you think until you see when you become present. There is also a private or public contrast, for instance. Someone can appear capable, they could be funny, they could be independent, they could be different, or they could be confident. But deep down, privately, they're organizing behavior around avoiding rejection. It's kind of like pre-programmed like that. Now, there is a lot of us, right, that go through this phase. But I would like to ponder on this. When we fear someone's judgment, are we afraid of their opinion? Or are we afraid of what their opinion might make us believe about ourselves? For instance, in Buddhism, the 8 worldly conditions. Hope I said that right. You say wordly. See, that's what happens when I'm trying to say a big word and I don't know how to say it, but it's like inevitable so. See, I said that right. But back to Buddhism. It teaches, it describes ordinary life as moving through pairs such as praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and pain, fame and disrepute. Again, one big word I like to use. Kind of like losing respect, or reputation rather. So the problem is not that praise or criticism exist. It is how strongly the mind becomes pulled around them, or I should say, by them. So this brings a different dimension than Proverbs. So the biblical lens highlights fear and trust. The Buddhist lens highlights attachment to evaluation. So fear of judgment often contains 2 desires at once. The good old duality. Please don't reject me, and please confirm that I am acceptable. That means criticism and praise can become 2 sides of the same dependency. This connects especially well with digital life. A person can receive approval, reactions, like, praise, silence, criticism, or comparison in ways that are unusually visible and measurable. Hey, we got Google Analytics. There you go. But the Buddhist perspective, fear becomes smaller when it is listened to without being obeyed. The point is not necessarily to eliminate the feeling, but to become less governed by its movement. See, at the end of the day, we get to choose. I like to ponder on this. What changes when praise and criticism are things we experience rather than things we use to decide who we are? What changes? Let's ponder on that. Carl Jung, he mentions the persona. This is a different lens. So in Jungian psychology, the persona is the social face we present to the world. This is the version of ourselves shaped partly by roles, expectations, culture, upbringings, social status, and the need to function with other people. So the persona is not automatically false or unhealthy necessarily. We all need social roles. The tension appears when the society, well, not society, but when what's the word? When we are being socially. So we need to have a socially acceptable version of ourselves. So this becomes so important that part of our private experience have nowhere to go. We give no space. So for instance, you may be appearing completely fine while something much heavier is happening privately, inside of us, inside of you. And it always is. We always worry about what people are going to think, what just it's been my experience. I started being concerned about myself. And once I take care of me, I could take care of others. We love praise. We like praise. Hey, I like nice things. I like nice comments. Of course, you like nice comments. But it comes to a point that we could translate a particular comment or a particular saying or a particular habit or a particular condition based on how we feel at that time. And thus, we'll be seeing things through that lens. And for as long as we use that lens, we are performing what is called a self-sabotage. The things from the past, the things from the for the future, uh, but rarely the mind talks about the present moment. And when it does, it's judging at all times. You're judging yourself. You're the observer. What we need to do, or what I would like you to invite yourself to try, to give it a shot, to give it a go, is to see and be aware of who's making the decision. Is it your previous life, your previous persona? Is it the one you pretending to be? Are you aware of certain behavior that you do thinking that it was you just to walk it back? There's a lot of things going on. Maybe what fear of judgment protect is not simply reputation. Maybe it protects the identity we have learned to perform. So Jung also depend, he goes deeper in the closing reflection and listening to fear without immediately obeying it. It creates space to notice what the protector part is actually afraid will happen. Are you afraid of being rejected? I know most of the time we are. Humiliated? I know. Me too. Loss of belonging? It happens. It's not easy. To be exposed? Heck, I'm doing these videos. I'm being exposed right now, but I need to conquer my fear. At the very least, that's the way I see things. I show up and do it anyway. And I know you will find me, and I will find you, and I trust. And so it is. Are we afraid of disappointing someone? Are we afraid to discover that the image we maintain is fragile? AKA insecurity. You heard about that before. I like to ponder on this. How much of our fear of being judged comes from protecting who we are? And how much comes from protecting who we think we have to appear to be? Two different things. The one I want to appear to be, the one I think that I am, and the one perhaps that other folks like from me or wanted me to be like. I like to ponder on this. If no one else judgment could change our worth, what part of ourselves will we no longer need to control so carefully? What part of ourselves are we not going to be reaction? What part of ourselves it could sit on its own without necessarily seeking for approval? But you know it true and true. So to bring it back, uh, through the different lenses, Proverbs ask, who has the power to make us feel safe? Buddhism asks, why does approval or criticism have so much power over our inner state? Carl Jung asks, what version of ourselves are we trying to protect from being questioned? Sometimes we even make up stories. We lie because we want to protect that version that perhaps is not the true you. But currently, we make an investment for a tomorrow. You see, the world already judges us. You don't need to judge yourself. I don't judge myself. I used to. I'm not going to lie. Not anymore. It's a new day. We transcend, we evolve, but it starts here. It starts here. That reminds me of a song from Bob Marley. Yeah. Songs of Freedom, I believe it is. Yeah. Talks about something about uh, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but yourself can free our mind. Have no fear for the atomic energy, because none of that can stop the time. Man, good times. I invite you to not judge yourself. You will. You can't hope it, but at least you catch the thoughts midair and be present. It's not an easy task. Many of our prophet and our beliefs, is to recuse yourself and go and pray, or affirmation or confirmation, whatever you want to call it. Believe, faith. There's there's something there. There's something else there that is called to have the conviction. Yeah, that's the word. To have the conviction. I live on conviction mode. I'd like to invite you to take a look at that and see how that goes. Become present. Who's making the decision? Is it your programming from the way you were brought up? Is it in your DNA? Something to ponder on. Perhaps fear comes smaller when it's listened to without being obeyed. Maybe that is where fear of judgment stops being only a struggle and starts becoming something we can learn from. What changes? What changes when we stop hiding that part from ourselves? Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you on the next one.